Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight on this very special Saturday. This is our first performance ever. Accio Theater is an online theater company, and tonight we're performing 7 different monologues. And what's so special is that all these monologues are original pieces that were written by writers all around the world, and they submitted them to us just for this reason. So very excited to perform for you guys. And if you want to follow us for any future updates, just follow us on Instagram at Accio Theater. And that was it. Without further ado, let's get started and enjoy the show.
This has been torture, Emily. Torture. I understand why we have to live like this. And I'm for it. I'm for it. I want to follow the rules and keep myself and others safe. And I've been doing all that. I just feel like, well, it's like this. What is a person without a reflection? If you looked in the mirror and you saw nothing, how would you know who you are? We've been locked in for months now. I've been out of work. You haven't. Maybe that's why it seems like you don't get what I'm saying. Tell another state I've been doing. Normally, I know exactly who I am. I pride myself on that. And I thought it was just me that defined it, but it's not. It's everyone else. I have barely anything to do with it. I present myself to the world, and it responds. Good or bad, I know where I stand. And I don't think I can be me without that. And I can't do anything about it. I can keep waiting until things get better. I mean, we all do. And maybe once I get a new job or something, things will change. But right now, I feel like a blank slate. It scares me to think I can't get back to the person who I thought I was. It has to still be me. You think it is, right?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 2 years since my last confession. I've never told anyone this before. I only came in to light a candle, and then I saw the open booth, and I thought, well, cast all your cares upon him, for he hath care of you. I always loved that one. I'll never forget the way she looked at me, Father. The way we looked at each other. There was nothing to say, you see, just these silent screams coming out our eyes. Her hands were like warm paper, soft and dry. She told me hers were twins. She already had 4 kids. What are you going to do? My best friend Audrey had agreed to go with me, but she'd forgotten all about it. I had to practically bang her door down to wake her up. And I remember praying that she'd sober up by the time it was done. You're not supposed to drive yourself home, you see. That's what they said anyway. And the nurse was a feckin' bitch. I'm sorry, Father, but she was. She was the one who first examined me when I got there, told me I was more than 3 months gone. So I couldn't just do a regular one. She told me I had to sit in this room with these pills in my mouth to start the process. For 6 hours I was in that room. Do you know how many thoughts go through your head in 6 hours, Father? They told me it was going to be an extra $250, so I said, fine, do it. But they told me I had to pay up front. So I went outside to get Audrey because I didn't have any more money on me and I couldn't find her anywhere. And there was all these people out there holding these choose life signs, and they were shouting at me. And I finally find her, and she's crouched behind my car smoking a feckin' joint. And I told her about the extra money, and I asked her father. I did. I said, do you think that it's a sign that I'm not supposed to do it? She said no. Now there was no going back. I kept trying to focus on how I was going to feel when it was all over. But all I could think of was how unlonely I felt with this little thing inside me. For the first time in my life, I felt connected to something. Like I had this secret friend that was always going to be by my side. But then every time I thought about actually having my baby, I heard this little voice inside my head that said, but what about me? I don't suppose you've ever had to ask that question, have you, Father? After 6 hours, they take me into this other room with all these chairs lined up against the walls and this gurney in the corner. And they're rolling women off the gurney and onto the chairs across from me. And I thought, this is it. The last moment to change my mind before I'm lying on that gurney with my baby cut out of me. All I had to say were those 4 words, and I could be back in my car heading to my apartment with Audrey. 4 little words. I changed my mind. I couldn't find the words because I didn't want to find them. I didn't want my baby. I didn't want to be lonely. And I didn't want to hurt anyone, but what about me? And what about my life? And if it's a sin, then it's mine to commit.
Are you ready to die? Yes. But first, before I go, I'd like to tell my friends and family something. Please, don't come to my funeral. I don't need to hear how I was kind, selfless, and always high energy, the life of the party. I don't want you saying, I wish. I wish I had just called her yesterday. I might have stopped it or let her know she wasn't alone. I don't need to hear, she never showed her pain. Tell it to me now. Not when I'm 6 feet under. Don't have a reason to call your friend. Even a quick hello means more than you could know. And how do I know? Because I was there. At the age of 17, I felt lost, disgusting, unlovable. I had scars and I didn't want to face them. Nobody talked to me. Nobody asked how I was. But again, I never showed my pain. One. Magazine's in its position. I wrote them a letter that hopefully clears everything up. Hi, family. Sorry I wasn't strong enough to beat them, yada, yada, yada. 2. The last breath has been prepared. I hope I don't miss. Will this be too messy? I don't want to leave a mess. 3. I'm ready to die. Hello? Hi, Brooke. Yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll jump on a call. Yeah, okay. Okay. Bye.
All right, fine. You know what? I'll humor you, okay? What do you want me to tell myself, okay? Well, that I'm a pussy, yeah, that's That's it. Done. Shit. Are you happy now? Okay. By the silence and that look on your face, I can see what you're going to say. Stop playing around. Why are you talking about yourself like that? You know why? You don't know why? Because I am a motherfucking pussy. First sign of trouble, you self-sabotage, you head for the hills. Keep telling yourself it was something that they did. Something that they did. And for a while, you actually begin to believe that shit until you find yourself sleepless at 2 a.m, staring up at that milky sky that is your ceiling, wondering. And then you realize something. You know what you realize? You're scared. But instead of facing that fear, you put your head between your legs and you run away. That's why you're a pussy. You know that the best way to get over this bullshit is to face your fear, but you just keep running. You know? You blame this shit on your mom. You blame this shit on your dad. You blame this shit on God. But you know what? The whole time you know that shit is you. But that's not even the really scary part. You want to know what the really scary part is about all this? The really scary part about all this is coming out on the other side. The really scary part is letting yourself fall in love with someone and having to live with that person who is not yourself. The scary part's opening up, not knowing if that person is gonna love you, fuck you up, or hurt you. That was stupid, yeah? That reminds me of like Tom and Jerry. They spent a whole fucking episode chasing each other down. And the whole time, they fucking need each other. And if they just embraced each other, all this shit would be alright. Shit. I'm sorry. Fuck, I forgot. What was that question again?
There's this girl I've been friends with since I was 14. We hardly ever see each other anymore because we wound up in different cities, but when we do, it's like we've never been apart. Well, she called me the other day to tell me that she survived a car accident with very little injuries, even though it could have ended up very differently. She said that she really appreciates our friendship and that she loves me and that I'm important to her. And she just wanted me to know. Listen, I'm not saying that we should be scared for our life or even be happy all the time. I'm fuck no. There are hundreds of reasons to hate life. I mean, heartbreak, unachieved goals, racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, cultural appropriation, photoshopped Instagram models, fake ass feel good lines like, You only have to believe in yourself and achieve everything you've ever wanted, or you can find your one true love. I mean, gosh, like Tinder, fitness challenges, like Gucci and Versace bags, money scams, people who don't understand sarcasm, people who've never read a single book, Twitter, bullying, people who think they're better than everyone else. Kneecap surgery, flat earthers, people who name all their kids with the same starting letter, caviar, dick pics, freaking Mountain Dew. It's disgusting. But there's also the smell of coffee, and there's snow, and there's people who cure cancer, and otters, and you. We don't talk much either, since we wound up in different time zones, but there's never been a single time where you made me feel like my opinion was invaluable. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I really value your opinion too. And I hate these cheesy things. I really like you. Whatever. And if I ever got into a car accident, I want you to know that I like you. So here it is. Honestly, I'm scared as fuck that I ruined our conversations forever now. DM me when you get this, okay? Sorry. Bye.
Audrey, I didn't want to stand up at your wedding. I still don't, not really. You know how my anxiety gets. You told me it would be easy and to just write a letter, special moments and stories and well wishes. Fuck. Beth came into your life as you were losing your father. She was the glue that held you together. She's so much more than you expected to find, more than you thought you deserved. I helped you pick out the ring. I always pictured you down on one knee, what you would say and wear, how your face would light up at the prospect of forever. It was more beautiful than I imagined, and immeasurably more sad. The proposal was sudden and sharp, like a broken bone or a rock thrown out a window. I couldn't breathe, and my lungs still haven't recovered. How could you not know how deeply I feel for you? I look at you now, and all I can see is that girl you were on the day we met at camp. Your shoulders were peeling from sunburn, and your roots were 2 inches grown in because your mom wouldn't let you go back to that hairdresser who burnt your scalp with bleach. Your wedding dress is not as nearly as stunning on you as that blue one-piece off-the-shoulder bathing suit you were wearing. Do you remember what I was wearing? You told me you liked my necklace. Even after the chain broke and I outgrew my hippie phase, I always kept that charm safe. Those were the first words on your lips. Cool necklace. And then you smiled. If I could have kept that smile in this box, I would have. I want so badly to be the one sitting in Beth's seat. I want your last name, and I want your first child, and every moment until the end. I loved you when you hated yourself. I love you even now that you love someone else who isn't me. This is pain that I didn't know I could feel. Audrey, this is not the letter I'll read to you today. The breath of your happiness is greater than I can imagine. I want that for you forever. But I also know I can't kill myself over maybes anymore. It's you and Beth. Maybe nothing. I'll stand up for you this one last time because you asked. But that's how it ends. You won't know until it's too late that tonight is goodbye.
Feels weird, right? Like knowing it's the last time in this house. I mean, it's totally not what it used to be, but I mean, it's falling apart and everything, but at the same time, it's just how it used to be. I remember that like drawer over there, it used to be filled with candy. Or at least when we'd be visiting, I guess. I guess I didn't realize as a kid that it was probably just for us, you know? But my favorite part was always sleeping in the upstairs living room. Something about that being like my room made me feel very adult. Like I have my own living room. Oh my god. And I used to braid the curtains. I completely ruined them and made Grandpa really upset. I see Grandpa all over this house. It's weird to think, right? Like, someone can spend their whole lives in a house, decades, and then one day it just doesn't exist anymore. Like, something new gets built in its place, something modern, and, like, a new family moves in, and they won't even know what was there before. They won't even know who was there. I know, I'm being dramatic. I just miss them, you know? Grandma and Grandpa. Like, I barely knew them, but a part of me feels like once this house is gone, another part of them will be too. And I'm just not okay with that.
Thank you, everyone, for watching our show. This has been Accio Theater. And before we go, we'd like to thank the writers that so kindly submitted original monologues to us for the purpose of the show. Matthew Gerrish, Andrew McGill, Ming Congdon, Vero Schwarz, Danielle Currier, and Katharine McEwan. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you for celebrating on this historic day with some art. Good night.